murder of New York hoodlum Frank Cali has to be one of the most bizarre killings in the history of organized crime. Cali was the leader of the Gambinos at the time. He was also, according to the FBI, the ambassador to the Sicilian mobs, and he was linked to the Inzarello family and mafia family in Palermo that had been a power once but were booted out and so forth. But he had a lot of connections to these guys. He was the nephew-in-law of Sicilian mobster John Gambino. He had close ties to Salvatore Inzarello, who led that family. Cali again, was sort of mob royalty. He was the great nephew of Giovanni and Vito Bonventuri. He fell under the tutelage of Jackie D'Amico, who had been a lieutenant under John Gotti. And when D'Amico was pumped up to acting boss, Cali was handed his crew, the 18th Avenue crew in Brooklyn. In the interim, on front companies, he ran a lot of import-export companies from Europe out of Brooklyn. One was a citrus wholesale fruit company in Hamilton, Fort Hamilton. He married Rosario Inzarello. She was the sister of Pete Inzarello and a relative of Gambino associate Frank Inzarello. So, again, more ties. According to the Italian State Police, Cali was a made member of the Sicilian Costa Nostra. That's interesting. I've never heard that before. His job was to go back and forth and keep everybody updated on what was going on. In early 2003, Cali and a guy named Lenny DiMaria, they started to extort mob taxes out of a guy named Joe Bolaro, who owned a trucking company. Huh, surprise, surprise. And he wanted to build a NASCAR speedway in Staten Island. He got all screwed up. They got tens and tens of thousands of dollars out of this guy. But in the interim, Valero had been snagged up in a coke thing. And to avoid jail time, he just agreed to work as an undercover agent for 4 years. And then in 2008, Cali and 61 others were arrested and charged with federal racketeering. 2008, Cali said, oh, the hell would he? Pled guilty to conspiracy to extorting money. He was jailed, I think, I might be wrong, but I think it was his first conviction. He was jailed for a measly 10 months. Of course, it was at the Metropolitan Detention Center. That couldn't have been a picnic. In 2015, he was, according to law enforcement, probably acting boss at that time. On March 13, 2019, around 9:20 in the morning, surveillance shows Cali walking out of his home on Hilltop Terrace in Todd Hill area in Staten Island. He walks over to his car. A pickup truck rams into the back of Cali's Cadillac. There's a confrontation, some yelling. The guy driving the pickup starts shooting at Cali. Cali runs. He tries to hide behind his car. It didn't work. He got hit 10 times, a 9mm handgun. He died in the hospital just a little while later. Police figured it was a personal dispute. Maybe there was a woman involved. No one could say, well, there was a problem within the mob because they couldn't think of any reasons to kill this guy. But then Anthony Camello, who lived not far away, he was, according to his lawyers, I don't believe this, that he lived in a world of conspiracy theories and that he said he thought Cali was a member of the, quote, deep state. He was under the protection of Donald Trump, who was president then, that he intended to handcuff Cali and place him under citizen's arrest, that he had attempted to, again, no evidence, attempted to arrest then New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, as well as California Congressmember Maxine Waters. I wouldn't have a problem with him arresting, really, Waters or de Blasio, but he was found in 2020 mentally unfit to stand trial. I don't believe that. I just don't believe this QAnon stuff. I think that his lawyers, somebody, maybe not his lawyers, convinced him to put a Q in the middle of his hand and fed him these ridiculous lines. This guy, he was a junkie for a large part of his, he was 24, and he had been a junkie for a large part of his life after high school, a few years, really. He had a series of mental health problems. And then there's even a question, did he know what the hell he was doing? He drove into Cali's car, knocked off the license plate, not a lot of damage. Cali apparently was either outside or coming outside or came out. And according to Camello now, Cali got angry after Camelo apologized, said, "I'm really sorry." And Cali, according to him, said, "You know who I am. I could have you killed right now." That's Cali wasn't known for violence. He shied away from it. He didn't want any problems. He had the old world view on violence and brings in cops and newspaper reporters. So I don't know if even that's true. I don't think we're ever going to know what happened. But according to Camelo, he got pissed off that Cali was being disrespectful, took out his gun and pumped him full of holes. Then he came up with a better story. He said, well, two guys, and he named two mafia guys, the names haven't been released, blackmailed him into killing Cali. I think he didn't have a freaking clue who Cali was. And it's just one of those things that happened.